Imagine the sirens go off. The world is seconds away from nuclear chaos. Where would you rather be? New York? London? Maybe Paris? Well, you're wrong. The safest place on Earth is a small, neutral country tucked in the heart of Europe, Switzerland. It's not because of its chocolate, mountains, or banks. It's because Switzerland has quietly prepared for doomsday for decades. Where most countries prepared their defenses with big armies, nuclear weapons, or strong alliances, Switzerland took a completely different approach. It built a system designed for survival. A system so detailed, so disciplined, that experts say if nuclear war breaks out, Switzerland could keep its entire population alive. So how did Switzerland become the safest country in the world? Let's peel back its fortress, layer by layer. Switzerland's defense starts with something money can't buy: location. The country's basically a natural fortress, carved by the Alps. Jagged mountains rise like walls, cutting off easy invasion routes. Armies for centuries have struggled to cross them. And in the age of nuclear weapons, those peaks still act as natural shields, hiding valleys, tunnels, and strongholds deep inside. Then comes politics. Switzerland has been famous for its neutral foreign policy. It hasn't fought a war since 1815. During both world wars, Switzerland stayed neutral. Neutrality doesn't mean weakness. It means Switzerland is too inconvenient to be attacked. Surrounded by chaos in both world wars, it was never invaded. Why? Because the cost of conquering a mountain fortress that doesn't threaten anyone just isn't worth it. This mix of geography and diplomacy is the first shield. But Switzerland didn't stop there. The geography favors Switzerland, but what if an enemy decides to push through anyway? Here's where Switzerland reveals its darker side. For decades, the country has wired its own landscape to self-destruct if invaded. Every major bridge, tunnel, and mountain pass has been prepared with explosives. With a single command, the Swiss military could collapse highways, blow up bridges, and block tunnels. This strategy is called the National Redoubt. It means that instead of defending every town, the Swiss retreat into the mountains, destroy access routes, and fight from hidden strongholds, which are terrifying. Machine gun nests and artillery bunkers are camouflaged in the rocks, almost invisible until they fire. Entire mountains have been hollowed out to store weapons, supplies, and barracks. The message is simple: even if you get in, you'll never get out. It's true that Switzerland is a neutral country, but other countries are not. It knew countries would go the extreme lengths to win. One of them could be the nukes, so it decided to prepare itself against any disastrous attack. And this is how Switzerland became the only country in the world where every single citizen has a guaranteed spot in a nuclear bunker. Yes, every single one of them. Since the 1960s, the government has passed strict laws requiring bunkers to be built in every new residential building. Today, there are more than 360,000 bunkers across the country, big enough to hold the entire Swiss population of 9 million people. Some of these bunkers look like ordinary basements. Some look like massive underground complexes hidden in mountains, equipped with air filtration systems, medical supplies, food, and water to keep people alive for months. In fact, Switzerland has more bunker space than it has people. Contrast this with most countries. In the US, for example, government shelters exist, but they could only fit a tiny fraction of the population. In Switzerland, survival isn't a privilege, it's a right. But survival isn't just about infrastructure or geography. It's about people. Switzerland has a culture of preparedness that runs deep. Military service is mandatory for Swiss men. From a young age, they're trained not just to fight, but to think about logistics, emergency response, and civil defense. And it doesn't stop there. Civilian drills, instructions for how to act in a nuclear emergency, and even basic survival knowledge are part of public life. Think about it this way. In most countries, if nuclear sirens went off, panic would explode instantly. But in Switzerland, people know exactly where to go. They know which bunker is theirs. They know what to bring. This collective discipline could mean the difference between chaos and survival. Even if you survived a blast, how do you survive the months after? When trade collapses and food becomes scarce, where would you get your supplies from? Switzerland thought of that too. The country has strategic reserves of food and medicine. By law, companies are required to stockpile essentials like sugar, rice, cooking oil, and animal feed. Switzerland is not invincible. No place is. But compared to almost every other nation on Earth, Switzerland is as close as it gets to a survival fortress. So here's the question for you. If your country faced the unthinkable tomorrow, would you be ready? Tell us in the comments.